Hey guys, so tonight we're going to jump right into this. This is an example website from Platinum Salon, Michaeline Denuzio. You're going to be the famous one tonight. So this is our #1 template that the majority of clients use, has the most coding and the most advertising built in. So when you log in, this is the screen you're going to get, okay? You'll see you have a standard menu, book now, all the things that most people look for, such as your phone number, your email, your social media links, and all the different pages. Right there you see our logo, and from up top you're going to see all the different tools that are available to you when you log in. Your dashboard is where all the back end stuff is included. Visual Builder is up top. In the background, you'll see all these different tools we've already built in for you and paid for. You've got a lot of paid for tools built right in. Right here, you see Divi. Divi is the visual builder that runs this whole platform. Okay, the first thing you see is your logo. You're going to want to change this to whatever your logo is, right? So we are reverse engineering here. So what you're going to do is you're going to reset the logo and upload your own picture of your logo. You saw where I did it. In this case, I'm jumping to my desktop, going to grab a generic image, and we're going to open that image. It opens in your library. Then we're going to go down the bottom as set as logo. Okay, pretty easy, right? Right there. Now we're going to save the changes. Always remember to save your changes after your work. We're going to go down a little bit inside of here. This is where your social media links are inside of Divi. So you're going to want to change these obviously to whatever your social media links are. There'll be additional social media links in another section that you can add different platforms. Right now, this platform didn't include Instagram, but we've included that in our own custom software. So you'll see that later on in the program. Oh, there actually Instagram is in here because we did the coding, so it is in here. Anyway, so that's where you put your social media links in. Okay, this area, this is our custom coding that we've built for you. Do not change it. If you do, you'll crash the site, so just let it be. So save changes. Remember, always save changes. So down here, we're going to go to our secondary tool, Divi Booster, under Divi. Divi Booster is kind of an add-on that we've worked with that lets you tweak a lot of things inside of the site that options weren't available for and now are. Here's all your different social media platforms and other things right in here, so you can add as many social media platforms as you like. Make sure you put your correct handles into each one of these. Okay, we're scrolling down, we're going through each section here to kind of show you all the available tweaks you can make to the site. Now remember, don't worry about breaking the site. If you make a mistake, we can always go back and fix it. Okay, this is an important one. You're going to want to change your phone number in here. This is a click to call link. So if the customer clicks it and they're on mobile, it will automatically dial it. For right now, we're putting in a generic phone number. So you'll go in here and you will modify that to your phone number. Okay, scroll through this, and when you scroll through it, look at it, make the changes you want to make, like mobile header, for instance. You might want to change what it looks like on mobile, that kind of thing. Your posts are your blog. Then in here, this is your footer. This is important to change. In here, we're going to show you how to change your logo in the footer, and then we're going to show you how to change the wording right here. Pretty easy to do. You see my mouse scrolling over it. Just watch what we do here. So we're going to highlight that area that is almost looks like a web page, HTTPS. You can actually, all of your logos and pictures have their own unique web address. So we copied that to show you. But now we're going to go back in and we're going to go to where we changed the logo originally in theme options under Divi. So at the top, that's where we had changed the logo. So for right now, we're going to copy the new logo. Copy. And then we're going to go back to that other area in Divi Booster. And we're going to paste that into there so that we can change the logo on the footer also. Now we're going to scroll down. Obviously, there's a lot of options in here. Don't get confused by them. Don't get intimidated. Just take your time, and it's actually a lot of fun once you learn how to do this. You'll know what people are charging $10,000 for a website for. So this is a great class you're getting tonight. So we're going to paste that new site address in that we did before, right? We grabbed the logo site address. We did it. Now we're going to change the name, obviously, right? So this is in the footer, and we're just going to go in here and we're going to change the name. And we're doing this all into generic stuff so that you can just go in and change it to your stuff. So, and the reason why this stuff is important is Google is going to pick it up and see that it says best salon in blah, 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 right? And you're going to want it best salon in whatever area you're in. Most salons don't have this capability to do this type of SEO. So we're showing you how to do it. So this section we're going back and we're going to just make a pound sign, which takes you to the home page to get rid of the Instagram feed so that you can put your own in there. Then we're going back through, we're scrolling down a little bit. These are all the different options. You're going to want to go into some of them. Remember what I said, save after every time. Obviously, we didn't save at some point, so now we're going back in and we're changing the generic click-to-call phone number. And we're going to save those changes to make sure they go into effect. And we're going to go back through all of this to make sure that we didn't miss anything. You see it saved it now that we hit save changes. All the stuff we did earlier, that saved also. Divi Builder is your front end builder, so we're just checking these settings to make sure they're all good. You should, after this, if you're using this template, all your settings should be good. Visual Builder is the front end where you can actually change things visually. We can make some changes to all these. These are just added features. We're adding a couple additional ones. Again, this is a paid program that we include for you. So this is make the scroll down icon bounce, gives it a little visual play. What that means is there'll be an icon that says points downwards and it bounces to make the person take action. So there's a lot of features in here that you can utilize to make your site a lot more exciting. Again, CSS Manager, don't touch it. That's the code that we put in here for you, custom. And then we're going to save all our changes. Now we're going to go back and we're going to visit the site, and you'll see some of those changes have taken effect. Notice the generic logo now. We also have the changes up in the top menu with the generic phone number. Still showing a different email address, so we need to change that. We'll get to that. We'll show you how to do that. You can see that it's still showing a lot of the other stuff, but we're going down the bottom. The footer now has the generic logo, and it's got all the generic wording that we did in the back end just now. So now we're going to go back up top. Remember, that's where we get our dashboard or our visual builder. So now we're going to go into Theme Customizer. This is going to give us a lot of the settings for not only the logo, the background colors, a whole bunch of different things. So we're going to go in General Settings first. And at General Settings, we have the site identity. Site identity is what is the name of your site, right? What are you calling it? This is what's going to show up in Google. So we're going to change that. Right now we're going to put in something generic. We're going to change the location. After we're done with that, we're going to jump down and change the site icon. The site icon is what shows up in the tab of the internet browser. Right there, we're just changing your tagline. You can put whatever you want in there. Generally, you want to say a tagline that people will search for in Google. So the site icon, like I said, it's scissors right now. You can change that image right there. We're going to leave it as it is with the scissors. If you hit change image, it's going to ask you to pull in an image to change it. Very simple. Then we hit publish, which is the same as save. Now we're going to go into layout settings. Layout settings allow you to change some of the backgrounds and fonts. Same thing with typography. Typography is where you're going to change your default fonts and your default colors. Background is if you wanted a color background, but we're not going to do that right now. What we are going to do is go to header and navigation. Header and navigation is the top line, what you see all the time with the wording, right? With your tabs, basically, your menu, okay? There's your logo. Primary menu bar is, you'll see the mouse in secondary. So that's your secondary menu up top. Your primary is below it. You can change, obviously, the text size, the fonts, the color. You can do a lot of things with that. Fixed navigation is stuff that stays on your screen as you scroll. Notice it popped to platinum when we scrolled. Okay, so that will eventually be changed. That's your fixed navigation when you're scrolling. Header elements. This is things you have in your header, such as your email, your phone number, things like that, right? So you can have a call now, an email. Obviously, we're going to want to change these. We're going to put generic stuff in right now, but you see them changing as we're typing up in the top right. This is very important stuff. The quicker a client can get to what they need to see or book now, call now, the better off you are. So notice we're just highlighting the phone numbers, which you can do when you read this lesson. You can have two screens open. Just go in, take your time and do this and put your phone numbers and your social media and your email and all of that stuff in here. And it's pretty easy to do. Once you're done with this stuff, you're going to be pretty blown away by the fact that you're really getting, like I said earlier, a $10,000 website, and you're doing it. You're learning how to do it, and you have control over it. Control is a great thing. So right now we're just going through to make sure that the changes are changed. And I'm just going to pause the recording for now. So you can see in this spot we are allowing the social icons, and now we're going forward, and in this area we are working on the bottom bar. You see the changes we made. Now we can choose a background color for that bottom bar, or we can choose the text color. We're going to change it here. Pretty easy to do. And then we hit publish to save our changes. Now we're going to go back here to another section, and we can X out of here. Just make sure we've published our changes. Publish is the same as save in the other sections. Remember to always save or publish our changes. So here we're going to scroll down a little bit, see the differences in the site. We've got our social follow icons, so we're going to change those. We're going to go back to our dashboard to show you the section they're in. What the social follow icons are they are, if somebody clicks on something, they can follow you or save your site and your social sites. So we're going to go into Tools. We're going to go into Monarch Settings. Monarch is the paid plugin that we have in here that has your social follow options. So we have your locations. Locations are where we are going to put this into your site in different areas. We have our integrations, right? Our networks. So in here is where you're going to put the networks for all your different social sites. You can add networks. There's a whole bunch of them in there, obviously. You can see by here, right? Keep in mind, Google has changed their platform, so there's no more Google sites or anything like that. It's only Google Maps. So we can also X out of them when we hover over them. There's the minus sign if we want to delete them. In this case, we're going to zero them out so that we're not picking up the example site, right? Pound symbol takes us to our home page. Pound symbol takes us to our home page. And we're going to save those changes. In the next section, we're going to add some networks. And you'll see you have integrations. Now we're going to social follow. We're going to click on that. These are the current networks in there. We're going to delete the existing ones so that they're generic. And we might want to add a couple, right? So if we wanted to add networks, we could do it in there. In this case, we're going to zero out the networks that we have in there so that the site example is not following the site that we built for somebody. Big shout out to Michaeline and Platinum Salons. So here we go. We save our changes. So now we've zeroed those out, and you can make your changes and put your networks in there. We're going to go back. We're going to visit the site. And we're back to our home page on our site. You'll see the generic logo. It's still switching over. You'll see our book appointment button. You have the book the appointment, book now, those types of things. And those links need to be changed, obviously. So what we're going to do is go in there, and we're going to go into Visual Builder, which is in the top menu. And we're going to change those links. Pretty easy to do. So we're going to go over where the button is, and you see the little gear icon. The gear icon is where we make changes, right? Module settings. We can duplicate it if we want to double it. We can save it to our library if we want to save it. We can trash it. But in this case, we're going to go into the settings, and we're going to change it, right? So in here, you're going to see we have 3 slides. By slides, I mean the homepage slides, right? So each one has its own settings. In this case, we have the luxury reinvented, then a picture of the guy is the second one, and then the new slide. Click the little button down there. It's going to show the girl with the wild hair, right, for the third slide. So each one of them have their own settings. We can delete all of them and only have one, or we can have multiple. In this case, we have multiple. So we're going to go in there and we're going to change the settings for this one, right? And then we're going to go change the settings for all the other ones. So we need a link where that book now appointment, book an appointment button goes to. So you can have multiple buttons, but in this case, we're going to scroll down and we're going to go to where it says link. Link is where you're going to insert your booking link. So in this case, it's got a generic booking link. You're going to put your booking link to whatever Salon platform you have. You can ask your Salon platform what that link is and just insert it there. In design, you can change many things, all the different stuff within that particular slide, what the text looks like, what the colors are, multiple things, right? If you wanted to change the color of a button, you could change the color of a button. And you'll see that right here. So button text color, right? So there's the text color. We have black here. You could change it if you wanted. The button background color. In this case, we have from a gradient from one color to another. You can make it a solid color. You can make it a gradient. You can make it a picture. That's all up to you. So that's your solid color. The middle is gradient color, and the end is a picture. So you can actually put a picture in the background of one of the buttons. And once you're done, you hit save. Okay. In this case, you see the Book Now button in our menu. The Book Now button is separate because we have to go into our menu to change that. So our menu is all the pages that were included in our menu. And if we made a change and we're getting off a page, the site's going to remind you to save and exit. Remember, you want to always save your changes. It's frustrating if you go too far and don't save it, and then you go, oh man, and you have to go back and redo it. So let's make sure we save that, right? So in here we're going to Appearance, and we're going to Menus. Menus are your basic bar across the top with your menu pages. There is your menu structure. You can change different menus. We have the secondary menu, which is a little top menu. In this case, you would hit that, hit select if you wanted to change that. But we're working on the main menu, so we're going to go back to the main menu. We're going to select the item we want to change. In this case, it was the Book Now button, right? So we're going to go down to the Book Now button. On the left-hand side, these are all the pages that you can add to your menu. You would just click on them and say Add to Menu. Okay? So in this case, we're going to go to Book Now. It's a custom link. You see the link right there. So what you're going to do is change that custom link to whatever your booking link is. And you're going to hit Save Menu. Remember, whenever you're working in an area, you want to save your changes as soon as you're done. Now we're going to go back to Visit the Site. And that Book Now button should have that menu link that you have saved. Okay, general changes to anything on the page, right? So in here, you're going to enable Visual Builder. Your Visual Builder is your front end of the website. It's going to allow you to make changes visually without knowing code. And this is important for a salon owner because you don't want to spend a year learning coding. So what this allows you to do is change things visually. Once you enable Visual Builder, you're going to go into the section you want to change. Over there on the right is a picture. On the left is wording. So you can change either one of them. You see them popping up as I touch them. Now you'll see these little boxes. So in this case, we're going to scroll up and we're going to hit the gear icon for the green. You'll see it put a green outline around both sections of that area, the picture and the wording. So if you wanted to change that area, what that area is basically doing is giving you a visual representation of what it is. In this case, you see the one that's highlighted. It's a big section, a little section. So it's columns. And you can change that by clicking any of these, and it will change the column structure to how many are available. Then when we go into the area, you're going to see the gear icon, and you can go in and change the specific settings of each area. In this case, you'll see we're looking at the wording section. So we can change this wording right inside of here. As you can see, there's different settings, right? And design is to change the color of the wording, the size of the wording, things like that. So in this case, you see we're scrolling down. We can change the font right there. We can change the setting for how it's aligned. The color, let's say we hit red. It's going to change that to red. Pretty simple to do. So we're going to go back to what we had, white. We can change the sizing in that area. So all of your, in design, all of your settings are in there. Now we have Christmas in July at the top, right? So it's kind of combined with everything. Let's say we wanted to change that to something bolder or a heading. So the next section we're going to show here is how to change that. So we'll go back to content. We have text. We have no title right there. But we want to make Christmas in July a title, right? So we're going to go in here and we're going to highlight that. In this case, we're going to cut it out of there and we're going to make it a title. So we're going to scroll back up, put it in the title area. You can always hit question mark to see what it is. But in this case, we're going to hit paste. And now we have Christmas in July. Even though it looks the same size as the other wording, we now have the ability to edit it under design in title text, right? So we have text and title text. So text is your main body, title text is the other area. So we're going to go into that title text area and we're going to make some changes. We can change the font, we can change the color, we can change the size, very simply. And you'll see all the different settings. We can change the color, obviously, right? So if we want to do red again, we could do that. In this case, we could change the size, watch. So we're going to just drag it and make the title text bigger. It's as simple as that. And when we're done with this, we're always going to hit the check mark. And after we hit the check mark, we're going to save our changes down in the little purple box there. You see a little purple bubble at the bottom of the screen after we've made changes. And we're going to click that, and on the right-hand side, it'll pop up and say save. So you see right now we have difference in sizes of the boxes. So we're going to do a little tweak here to make the sizes align with the boxes. So all we have to do is be in design, and we're going to change some of the settings. We can change the body text to what's in between. We can change the size of the wording, things like that, to try and even it out. So all we have to do is do that visually. We see the difference right there. So if we were to take the body line height, we could change that right there. Or we could change the body text size also. So let's do that. So we're going to increase it and we're going to decrease it. And you'll see how we automatically, just by changing the text size, do that. But then on the right, we can do it click by click, which means change it a little bit at a time, right? So we're going to scroll up to the amount that looks close, and there we go. So now we're close with the picture size. So we want them to look even so that on a website, everything looks nice and clean, right? So we're going to click that, and then we're going to hit save. Remember, purple button, and then we hit save when we're in the Visual Builder after we've made changes. Okay, now we have the book appointment button. Again, we can hit the gear icon, change the link in there. The link is basically where it's taking you to. So we're going to change it to whatever your booking site is, right? So you go in there and you change it to whatever your booking site is, whether it's Rosie Salon Software, Millennium, whatever that is, you need to put that link in there so that it's being picked up, okay? Design, you can change the shape of the button, the size of the button, the color of the button, the text in the background of the button. It's all available right there if you hit use custom styles for the button. If you don't hit use custom styles, it's going to put whatever the default button is. Again, gradient, you notice the button's two different colors. A gradient is when you're going from one color to the other. You can use solid colors or you can use pictures. And of course, you'll always save your changes by hitting the check mark, and then you hit the purple save, the purple button, bubble, and go over to the right and hit save. So in this case, we want to change some things, right? So we have that platinum logo. Obviously, we don't want that. So we're going to put in whatever logo you have. So we're going to come up here, and we're going to hit, once we highlight it, we're going to hit add media, and we're going to find whatever our logo is in our library, and we're going to change it to that. Then you can edit your text to say whatever you want, right? So obviously you're going to change all this stuff to whatever is pertinent to your particular business. And we're changing this to all generic stuff so that you can go in and change it to your name and your salon and what you do, whether it's a salon, aesthetics, whatever it is. You need to change this wording up for yourself. Now remember, we save our changes. So now we obviously need to change this text in this gallery of images. So we go in here, we go into the gear icon, and we're going to come in our location, and we're going to jump in there, and self-explanatory after you've already learned the rest. We're going to change the wording first, and then when we get to the images, we're going to hit the gear icon, and we're going to change the images to whatever images you feel that you want to use in that gallery. Again, remember, every bit of wording counts. Go through this because Google will go through it and make sure that your wording is something that a customer would search for in Google. And you can see as we're typing this, it's updating it on the right-hand side above the picture. We're going to hit the check mark, and we're going to save those changes. Right down on the right, save them. And now those changes are saved. If we want to change the pictures, again, we go to the picture area, we hit the gear icon, and that shows the images that it's scrolling through, and we can change those images. We can add images, very easy to do. We're just going to click on them. In this case, we're going to delete them, right? Delete, delete, garbage can, delete. That one's generic, maybe we'll leave it. But then we add images. So in your image library, there'll be a lot of images already in there that are generic. You can upload images at any time you want from your own libraries. In this case, we're going to grab a couple images that are in here. We'll click on a couple more, and then we'll upload them. You see it added an image. We're going to add another image. And there are the new images. And we're going to hit check, and we're going to hit save. Now in here we have a video. You can drop your own video in this area. I'm just up top. Every once in a while I encourage you to hit purge the cache in the system so that all your changes are visual. Sometimes your computer will save stuff that you've already changed. So it's good to every once in a while refresh everything. And we're just waiting for that to update. So we're going to exit the Visual Builder and enable the Visual Builder. Go back in here, hit the gear icon for the video. If you have video about yourself, you can change it in there. I suggest you do video. Video is very important for Google. So you can grab your Google video, whatever video you have, and just plug it in there. If you have a video, you can grab one off of Facebook, you can grab one off of Google, you can grab it wherever you put that video, you can grab the link to it and just put it in there. So in this case, you'll see we're doing one. We're looking for links. And you'll see we went into videos. So we're in our videos for Salon Ops, and we're just going to grab one of these generic links. Very easy to do. All you have to do is copy any of those links that you have for your own salon, obviously not Salon Ops. You don't want to advertise us. If you want to, that's fine. But if you don't want to, then you'll find your own video links that you've posted somewhere. And you're going to copy that video URL. A URL is the web address. So we're copying that right now. And then we're going to go back to the other area and we're going to paste that in to the site. So in here, we're going to go into the settings for the video. We're going to add a video. That's the old video. Bear with us a second. We're making sure we grab the right, and we're going to insert the new video URL to whatever we grabbed. In this case, it's Salon Ops, right? It's going to give you a preview of whatever it is. And then you're going to insert that video. You're going to hit the check mark, and then you're going to save it with the purple bubble. Purple bubble, right hand side, save. Now you've saved that video. So if we want to change any of these links, just like anywhere else, we're going to jump in, we're going to hit the gear icon, and we're going to change the links, right? So gear icon, book online, we're going to jump down, go under the link, whatever your booking link is, that's what we're going to put in there. We're going to hit check and save. Same thing. Contact us, meet our team. Okay. Hit the gear icon. We're going to pull up the web address of that page for contact us. And then we're going to put it in where it says link. Meet our team. If you've got a team area, same thing. It's always the same. So you're always going to hit the gear icon and put the link in that you need in. If you want to change pictures, same thing. Background, same thing. Once you get used to this, it's all going to be similar. Just so you know, as a side note, some of these sections, when you're trying to get the gear icon as you slide up and down, sometimes the gear icon won't show, but you can slide up and down and then it will show. See right there, that's the section, can't grab it. So you may have to slide up or down to be able to grab that section. See, it's disappearing. It's a little frustrating sometimes, but if you slide up or down, you'll find the setting where you can grab that gear icon. Again, cut, color, style, gear icon changes them. That changes the whole section. So if you wanted to change it to 4 columns or 3 columns or 2 columns, that's where you're going to do it, right? And the module link, that's where it's taking you to in this case. In this case, it's taking you to your services menu. You've already got that preset for you. Other services, I don't know, maybe you have barber services or aesthetic services, whatever it is. You can always change these sections up. You can delete them if you want by hitting the trash can. That's up to you. Very easy to do by adding and subtracting different sections to the site. Remember, anytime you have a button, you want to change the links. You're going to want to do that. Anytime you have wording that doesn't meet your particular salon or spa, then you want to change that wording also. You see here we're just putting in some generic stuff. You see it changed it on the right. Other services would be the link. Book an appointment would be the link to book an appointment. We always hit the check mark, and then we're going to hit save on the down right side to save our changes. In this case, you can change any section, change the settings on it, change the color, the font. On this site, we're reverse engineering the whole site. So that's exactly what you would do when building your own site. You would change the text, the pictures, the colors to meet your own style. So we're going through slowly, section by section. If you are doing this on your own, typically it would take us a couple hours to do these changes. For you, it might take you 3 or 4 hours, but once you get the hang of it, and whenever you need to make changes in the future, it's very, very easy to do. So here you see we're looking at the background of the whole section. It's a picture right now. We could change that out very easily by just clicking on background. You see it's picture. We could choose a picture, whatever picture that might be. You can obviously you want to upload your own because your media library will be pretty empty. But in this case, we change it to this. Right now, you see the text a little bit better. It's a different background picture, and you can put overlays on these background pictures, recolor them, do a lot of different things with them, but you want to grab your own images for your own site. Right here you see that it's 2 separate images because we have a bottom one that is for mobile only. Mobile will show a different size than the standard site, so we've already jumped in and done the text and the picture for mobile, and you'll see on here it'll have a setting where it says show on mobile, show on desktop, show on tablet. You can disable it for whatever you don't want it to show on. So if you don't want it to show on desktop and tablet and only on mobile, you can do that as a setting. So instead of building 2 separate websites, you can do the same site but change things so that they are more mobile friendly. By mobile friendly, you can go in and you can click and actually make adjustments on the mobile setting. You'll see down on the left it has a full screen tablet and a mobile version, and it'll show you what it looks like on each different platform. So you see there, disable on. In this case, it's disable on tablet and desktop. So it's only showing on the mobile phone, and that is that section right there. So you can actually have a different picture and different size show up on mobile than you could have on desktop. And you can change the sizing. You see here I'm dragging it up to change the margin. Again, a book an appointment button, very important to have all over the site because you typically want a client to get to what they need, which is name, phone number, reviews, and book now. And sometimes they'll look at prices, sometimes they won't. But typically a client will look at your name, phone number, they'll check your reviews, they might check pricing depending on who they are, but then they'll jump in and book an appointment, so you want that readily available. So again, here if I wanted to change it on mobile, I could change that setting of the background picture, right? So we're going to click on that, We can change out that background picture to something generic. And there it is. So now that's what will show up on mobile now also. Parallax is when the background is separate from the front. What it means is it will float over the front. So as you move the mouse or the wheel, the wording will scroll over the background. We can change all the settings in design, and we can look at what it looks like on the different platforms. Here we're on desktop, right? We can click mobile or we can click phone. So if you want to see what it looks like on each of those devices, you can see what it looks like, and you can also change it for those individual devices. So you can make the phone separate than the desktop. Here we're making a change in the height. That's for the mobile version. Remember, whenever we're making changes, we always want to click the check mark, and then we want to save those changes if we want them to be permanent. Saving those changes is down on the right-hand side where it says save. And you'll see that when you click the purple bubble. And I'm just double checking here to make sure it's only showing on the phone like that. Now this section here will show on the desktop and not on the phone. And you'll see here by going up to the section, we're going to make sure that that's the desktop version. All the sizing, we can change the sizing, right? Change the height a little bit here. And that looks pretty good. So whenever we hit the Advanced tab, we can see what it shows on. So in this case, we want to see visibility. See, it's not showing on disable on the phone. So it's not showing on the phone now, that section. So on the other section that was showing on the phone and not desktop, this section, it's showing on desktop, not phone. And we're going to save our settings. Again, now we're going to change the team settings. Whatever the name of your salon is, we're going to jump in here and we're going to change the text. And it shows on the right-hand side in real time as we're changing it. And we're going to save our settings. Check mark. We can hit the save button also. If you're confident making more than one change at a time, before you save, that's also fine, but let's save it. And it's saved. So now we're going to change the team members. So we can go into each one of the individual team members, the same as we did in anything else. That's the outside dialog. So we can change the amount of columns. We can trash that column, whatever we want, right? So we trash that column, we trash that column, and we're going to get rid of a bunch of these columns. And we're going to do some generic columns. So we're getting rid of all these existing team bios, and we are going to create our own team bios, right? So here's kind of a generic one that we do on a regular basis. We'll get rid of the one and save the other. So you see that we're going to save it now that we deleted all the others. And we're going to create some new ones. So right there is the duplicate button. So we're going to duplicate that module. You'll see it's right there. Yes. And we're going to delete this other module with the individual stylist in it. And we can delete these individually or by section. In this case, we're going to delete the individual. And it's going to leave us a blank spot. And we're going to drag and drop the other module up to that blank spot. You see the plus sign? So we're just going to grab the little move icon. And we're going to drag it up to where that plus sign is. And it will move the other module up there. So now you have modules side by side, right? And now we can copy this whole section and make it multiple sections, or we can just continue adding, but we're going to save here. So now our team is generic, right? There's nobody. So we have these two different modules, or we have the whole section right there. And we can copy that whole section down if we chose to make multiple individuals. Pretty easy to do right there, duplicate. Or above, we could duplicate the whole section. So we duplicated, and you'll see it popped up below. And then we're going to duplicate this one, duplicate, and it'll pop up below. So now we have 4 generic placeholders, and then all we have to do is go in and modify them. We can add, keep adding them, duplicate, duplicate, add as many as you want for your whole team. Now here we have join our team, which is the application section of your website. Okay, it already has a link in here for the button link. That button link is going to take you to a web page, which will be a page that we've already designed into your site for applications to be taken. So when your site is done, you can just ask us to link that, and we will link that for you into the applications section. And your website will have a section in it that will take applications and remind you that there is an application. So we're back to the home page now. You'll see all the changes we've made as we've been teaching this lesson. There's where we left off with the generic team links. Join our team, that's where we left off. We join our team, it's going to pull up the application form. This is built into the back end of your website already. You'll see it's a generic, basically an application that we put in here for you that potential employees can fill out. And I'm going to show you where that is stored right now. So you go into Formidable Forms. This is where you would make changes to those forms or look at them. In this case, this is your job application. There's some other forms we put in there for you. You can use those also. You go into Settings. Settings is going to take you to where that form goes to, right? You can make changes to the form, or you can say, hey, when I get a application, I want to get an email notification, right? Actions and notifications. So in here, you'll see it says whatever you want to have it notify you, okay? In this case, we want email notification. Just go down here and put your email in here instead of the email that's in there. This way, when somebody fills out that application, it will automatically come to you in an email format to say, hey, you've gotten an application from Judy, who's been a stylist and wants to join the team. Okay? So again, change these to and from email addresses to your own. Very important that yours are in there. Otherwise, our generic application is going to get your applications, and that wouldn't be good. So you want them to be going to you. After you make your changes, just hit update. It's going to automatically update the application form on your website. Okay, so that takes care of the Join Our Team button. Next thing is reviews. If you're a premium member of Salon Ops, we will install the code in this section once it's ready to go, once you're ready to go. And this will have a real-time feed of your reviews. If you're not a premium member, by that I mean if you are a individual suite renter, not paying the $75 a week, if you're paying below that, it's going to, we're going to install a generic review site. In here, this is your Instagram feed that I was just going over. So we're going to go into Enable Visual Builder, or we can go into the dashboard if we want to change the Instagram feed, and we're going to go down to Instagram feed, and we're going to put our Instagram site in that area so that it real-time pulls your information from Instagram into that area on your website. And this is real-time. So what you're going to do is you're just going to come in here, Actions, and you're going to edit. You're going to change the name of the salon in there. This would be obviously the name of your salon, spa, or suite. Okay. Then you're going to put in here, you're going to put whatever your Instagram feed address is. And it's not specific, just look up your Instagram. It'll have a web address. I'm doing that now. You'll see it, right? We're going to use Behind the Chair as a generic for right now. Obviously one of the bigger salon and spa websites in the industry. So we're going to grab their Instagram feed. This is how you would do it with yourself, right? And we're just going to copy their web address for their Instagram feed. In this case, you would copy yours. Then we're going to go back to the website. And we're going to put that, we're going to X out there, and we're going to put our address in, paste. There's yours. It's going to show you in real time what that feed looks like. This will be all your Instagram pictures, real time. Scroll down and hit apply or save, either one. And now you have your own Instagram feed. You can copy that if you want to put it in different sections of the website, but in this case it should be already done for you. Now you'll see when we visit the site that Instagram feed is automatically live in that area of the website. And this is very important if you want to showcase your Instagram work. So now here it is. You see that's the new site. And you notice it's live, it has comments, it has follow links, everything is built right into it. Next one, if you have a salon membership, which we encourage, that's the section that we would put the salon membership in. Okay, so that would be basically your membership pricing. You would change that with the Visual Builder. Your blog, super duper important. Google looks at blogs before it looks at anything on your website. So we've got kind of a cool looking blog built in for you already. If you want to make changes to that blog, you're going to go into your dashboard. And you should do this at least once a month. And you go into posts, all posts. Posts are your blog. Here's the ones that are in there right now. You can edit them, you can change them, save new ones, whatever you want to do in here. In this case, we're going to edit them just to show you what it looks like to do a blog. So here's the ones that we have in there, right? So you see a bunch of pictures, you see some wording and some links. It's important to backlink your website. So you'll notice right there, Platinum Hair Salon. Okay, it has a link to their salon website. So you'll change that to your salon, okay? And then you'll install a hyperlink, which is basically a link to your site. You're gonna edit the hyperlink right there. And you're gonna put the name of your website in there, whatever that is, right? In this case, we'll do something generic. But this would be your salon website link. The importance of this is when you write an article that's connected to other sites, such as Vogue or whatever, like these particular articles are, it's going to be linked to your site automatically, and that's going to give you really good Google rankings, right? So here we're copying, right, and we're going to change this. Again, instead of platinum, we'll put, you know, a generic link in there. Okay, so that's changed the name of this to whatever you link to. Now, one of the things I want to get straight while we're doing this is that you can take articles from popular magazines and use them. Real quick, right here, featured image, that's the image that's going to show on your blog. You want to make sure you do that, and you hit update, and that's going to publish the blog. But when you take articles from other magazines and stuff, it's not plagiarism as long as you don't take away the credit for them. But you can change some of the wordings. If you want this look, you can get it at mysalon.com, blah, 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 that kind of stuff, right? So you're giving them some publicity at the same time you're linking yourself and getting publicity for yourself. So there's nothing wrong with copying articles from famous blogs or websites or magazines or whatever, and then linking yourself to it. And you'll see, head to your salon and talk to, this particular person about getting this look. And that's fine. Do that. And put your salon name in, and make sure that when you put your salon name in, that you put a link in to your website behind that name. Okay? And here's what it looks like when you get done. That's the full article. You can add pictures, and again, I was showing where it says link to your salon. These are all the sites that was originally on and it's linked to. So you get credit that you're linked to all those salon sites or magazine sites. So it'll quickly get you to the top of Google. And go through each one of these and edit them to make sure that they are fit for your salon and or boutique. If you want to add new ones, do it, but change them. Make sure that the example website is not on there and your own is on there. You see here? So we're changing these to your salon, and behind your salon is a link to yoursalon.com website, right? In this case, it would be your website. Featured image on the right, that's the image that will show up at the top of the blog, and you just click on it and you can set the featured image. Remember, while we hit update will update the blog to, it's basically a save button. Okay, if you want to create a new one, you just up at the top where it says edit post, you hit add new. It's that simple. We're going back to the site again. So now we've got the Instagram changes, the blog changes, they're all set up so that they're under our name now, or your name once you make the edits. If you click on them, you can see the blog posts, the changes you've made. Contact us section, that's going to be at the bottom. It's going to have your hours, it's going to have how to contact you. Important to make sure this is all changed to mirror whatever your contact information and hours are. So here's where we're going to show you how to do that. We're going to Visual Builder. We're going to scroll back down there. And there we are, back in the section. See, we're going over it. We're going to hit the gear icon, and we're going to make the edits to that section that we wanted to make, right? We can change any of the wording. We're going to change the email, obviously, to whatever your email is, and you're going to put a link in the back of that. So you're going to type in your email address, and in the top menu, there's a little link icon right above that. You'll see it, it's already highlighted right there, and that icon is going to allow you to then put in whatever your email address is, and that's what that button will link to, or that wording will link to. Don't change the mail to, you'll see you put it in after that point. Mail to is the direction to the system of what to do. Okay, save that. And we're going to change all this, obviously, all this telephone wording to meet yours. Right, so now we have the telephone number. We're going to change the telephone number to something generic now. You'll go back in and put your phone number here because this is a click to call. What that means is on a mobile, when somebody touches it, it will call you automatically. You're going to go in here and you're going to put the new telephone number in without any spaces or anything. Do not delete the telephone plus. Just put the new number in where we're putting it in here. You want to change the text of what's displayed for that, you can do it right there also. Okay, just hit OK. So that's the number that it's going to dial when somebody clicks the call. Again, Platinum Hair Salon. You can change the link here, right? You can change the address. In this case, what we're grabbing is we're highlighting it all, and we're going to put in the wording you want there with the address. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to grab a link off of Google Maps, and we're going to put that link into there. So when somebody touches it, it gives them directions automatically. So just watch this. So we're going to type in whatever it is that you want to type in, your salon at blah, 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 address. And then we're going to grab an address and make that a link. And you'll see that here. Okay, so we've got this generic address, right? Now what we're going to do is highlight that address. We're going to go up above and we're going to hyperlink it. A link, remember we talked about this earlier, is basically a web address. We're going to click the link button and we're going to grab a Google address. So first we're going to go onto Google and we're going to find out where we want to link that address to. So we're going to type in your salon address and we're going to pull it up. Right, in this case we're doing something generic, but you're going to see how we do it. North Pole is a joke, right? You can put, unfortunately that didn't pull up an address. So, so we're going to go jump in here and we're going to pull out an address. Okay, so type in your address here. Obviously my brain is, as I'm doing this, is going a little slower than I'm talking. So in this case, we just decided to grab our business address. In here, you'll see it pulls it up. You click the directions business. Okay, you're going to get this long thing here. You're going to go up to the address bar and you're going to copy everything that's in the address bar, and it's long. And then you're going to come down here, and behind that, you're going to go back into the linking section once that wording is highlighted, and you're going to paste that link in there. It's going to be a lot of wording. Don't worry about it. It still works. Just hit OK. That's now in there. You're all set. Just save everything. So the contact section is done. Okay. You don't probably want to change the salon hours. So you see that's the new hyperlink for the address. Again, hit the check button. Save it. Salon hours you're going to want to change, so you go back in, go up to the gear icon. You may have to scroll the screen a little bit. Go down, change your salon hours right there. Okay. Again, save it. Over here is the contact us area. So this is generic contact us form that's going to send you an email if somebody wants to get in touch with you. So here's where you make those setting changes. Once you go back to the gear icon, right, as usual, it's all going to be in here. You shouldn't have to do anything in here except change the email address that it goes to. So you got it all already. If you want to change it, you can. The information they give, but right here, you're going to go into email, and this is the email address that it's sent to. So you're going to want to put your Salon email address in here. This way, when somebody fills out that form, it's coming to you. Again, save your changes when you're done. Now when they hit the submit button, that's where that'll go to. It'll go to that email address that you just changed to. You're gonna want to hit the purple bubble here and save all of your changes that you've made. You can go back into these things, make changes if you'd like. You can add a new field, whatever. You can change all that stuff up and to contact us. It's up to you. So you may want to change and add a phone number, right? In this contact us section. It's up to you, whatever you want to add in there. Now when you make any of these changes, whenever somebody emails you, it's going to go to that email address that you put in earlier. You make it required, not required. It's up to you. You can change the background, change the colors, change the text, just like everything else on the site. You're going to hit the check mark, and that'll save any changes you've made, creating new fields, or whatever you want to do. See, it's got a phone now, but we don't like that because it doesn't have an address. So we're going to change it up a little bit, right? We're going to go back into the settings. Now you see the phone button. We can delete it, obviously. In this case, we're going to get rid of it. Not a big fan of asking for a phone on a website, but we can duplicate another area and just change it up if we wanted to change it. So we have the email field. So we're just going to change that to phone. This way we already know that the email field has a box around it, so we don't have to try and build that styling again. We just copy it and change up the wording on it, and makes it a lot easier for you. You'll see here, right? Phone number, put whatever you want, hit a check, and you're done. It's that easy. So a lot of the times when you're trying to build something, it's much easier to copy something else and to make edits to it. Again, we're going to save that. You'll see now the phone number has a nice clean box around it. We're going to save those changes. Hit the bubble, save, and now we've made all those changes. Then we're going to go back for some final site cleanup. For the last few minutes, there's still a few things that are showing that we're going to want to change over to our own stuff, such as the platinum logo that's showing when we scroll, things like that. So So we got the logo. You saw that when we scrolled, it changed. So we're going to go back into the theme customizer. And we have our settings. We have additional CSS, which is all our custom coding. You're going to want to go in here and you're going to scroll down to the area I'm showing and you're going to make a change in here. This is the only change you should have to make in there. But in this case, we're going to show you an easier way to do it. So we're going to go back in there, we're going to go to our dashboard, and we're going to make a little change. That's our logo, as you remember earlier. I'm going to check to make sure that's our logo in our library. There it is. And you'll see we have our logo. We clicked it, and we can grab the address of our logo whenever we need to. Right there, you see it says copy link. So we can copy that link. That means we now copied that web address for that logo. We're going back into the site. We're going back into theme customizer. What we're trying to do here is we're trying to change it so that when we scroll, it doesn't change it to an additional logo. We're going back into the area that we talked about earlier, the CSS. This is the custom coding that we've done for you. And we're going to find the area in there where the logo changes. If you just watch on this video, you'll see exactly where it is. Here it is right here on line 122. And you're just going to copy that logo address into this area right here. So we're going to paste it into there that we had copied and pasted. And then we're going to publish it. And that's going to change the address. So now your logo here is throughout the site. And there are a couple additional changes we have to make. We're going to purge the cache, make sure that the website's not picking up the old stuff, that it's any of the newer changes we made. And you'll see that now we're scrolling, it's not changing anymore. So that's about it. We've cleaned up the site, made it all generic. If you go over all these lessons and put your own stuff in there, you should have a custom site for yourself.